milk, honey, and everything funny. These were the ingredients chosen to design the perfect little artist. But suddenly, some imbecile accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Alas, just Steven was born. Using his creative abilities, Steven and Steven alone has dedicated his life to making content so that about 10 to 12 people can laugh.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Season 4 premiere of Just Steven. Now I know you're all wondering, Season 4 premiere, was there a season break that I didn't hear about? No. Well, at least I didn't hear about it either. I didn't plan on there being a break, but I need to explain because what it looks like is that I dipped out for half a year after only posting one video in January, and I'm here to tell you that's exactly what happened. Looks can be deceiving, and that's not the case this time. Like I said, let me explain. I posted my video in January, then I hit February, which is Black History Month, as you all know. And I like to celebrate privately. I host my own event. Not everyone may understand. And those events can get kind of rowdy. So I needed the rest of the months to recover. And yeah, if you guys don't agree with that, and you don't like that I did that, then you're a racist. Sorry to break it to you, but that's the facts. But in all honesty, as I said before, this is my 4th year here on YouTube, and it's super exciting. And I know I haven't posted most of this year, but I still knew that I wanted to make an anniversary video because that's what I always do, and I still love this channel. I still like posting it because, again, this is Just Steven. I like to post as an update, not only to just my life, but also, you know, my movie reviewings and my artistic endeavors and whatnot. So I want to keep posting here, but I want to explain to you guys what's been going on this year, what's been kind of holding me back, and what the future may look like, because things are kind of changing around here. And I want to keep you guys in the loop. So anyway, for my 4th year, I want to make a video about what my year has been here in LA, because not only is this my anniversary, but I just hit my 1 year officially living here June 1st, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot to adjust to. So not only is this a recap of what my life has been, but also for anyone who wants to move to Los Angeles, this is going to be something that I'll title Just Steven's Secret LA Survival Kit. That's what we'll call it. Just a little here and there tips on how to adjust if you come out here, especially if you're not used to a big city or anything like that. So that's what this video is about. So let's just stop talking and let's just hop into it. So to lay some groundwork here, I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if I've discussed this on this channel, but I'm a writer. I enjoy writing. I enjoy writing movies, TV shows. I write scripts along with my art. I do a lot of different stuff artistically, but I moved out here to LA to get closer to Hollywood, closer to where the magic happens, because I want to get into this industry. But when I moved out here June 1st, it was really odd because as soon as I got here, I saw it on the news right before, as I was in the thick of planning to come out here, all the strikes were going on. The writer strike, the Actors Guild, everything just started blowing up. So as soon as I moved here and we touched down in here, I'm driving through LA and I get to see the strikes going on. I'm just like, oh, this was the worst time to come here. I messed up big time. So that was weird. That was a weird time to try to figure things out. But I know this is gonna sound like sucks for you guys, but it benefited me. But there was a blessing in disguise because I was able to meet with writers for different shows at the time because of my of them being a bit more free due to the strikes. So that was pretty cool. I spent a lot of those earlier months sitting down with different writers and speaking to them what their time was on the show and getting to know what it was like to be in the nitty-gritty of television making. So super cool. So that was already the benefit of it, which is funny because it was kind of a slap in my face because before I moved out here, I said to myself, Steven, I don't need to move to Los Angeles. I don't need to be in Hollywood. I could figure it out right here in my comfort zone here in Illinois. But that clearly just wasn't working. I explained this before. And it was crazy to move out here and immediately see the reason as to why I needed to be here. So it was oddly bittersweet, like, okay, I was being stupid, but I'm glad I'm here now. I'm figuring things out. So that's what my early months looked like. I was networking, finding people, speaking to people. So that's LA survival kit number one. Get a network going. Get a group of people that you can trust, people you can know. And if that's what you're moving out here for, find people that are like-minded to you to, keep around in your circle to understand. So, I mean, that definitely helped. One thing I was definitely lucky to have was a job ready for me when I came out here. I didn't go immediately start working as soon as I got out here. Before I moved out, I worked at a grocery store that is a large chain. So it was nice that I was able to contact them. So all my information was already with the overall branched companies. So as soon as I called, they're like, yeah, come on over. So I was able to get a job. So, I was very blessed to have it because the job market's scary. If I didn't do that, I don't know what job I could have got because, man, job hunting sucks. Job hunting is horrible. I hate it so much. That was that. So thankfully I was able to come work at this other grocery store, which was not the same store, but a sister company. So that's, I guess, tip number 2. Find a job.
Get a job, loser.
But no, in all honesty, it's nice to have a bit of a setup as to what you think you're gonna have for work before you come out here, because if you're just gonna be job hunting, when you get out here, it might take a while. So at least if you're going to just job hunt, have a chunk of money saved that's gonna help you out, which I feel like it may sound like that's the obvious, but sometimes you get caught up in the momentum of ready to go that you don't think about the fact that, oh man, I'm poor. I don't have money. Make sure you have a decent game plan here, because I'm not gonna lie, my game plan could have used some tuning, but I made it work, thankfully. We made it work. Me and Alicia did, because I don't know how I would have done it without her. We were able to come up with a really good game plan. Now, what I will explain to you is the hard parts that came afterwards is the meeting started to run dry, of course, after the strikes lifted in, it was like later that year, around, I believe, August. Yeah, it was around like late August, early September maybe. And then, of course, not many people could meet. And so I was just working, and I hit a lull. I hit a bit of a lull where I was just like, oh my. I was waking up really early for work, and I would go at about 4 a.m. I'd wake up at 4 a.m., go to work at 5. I'd come home and I'm just exhausted. So I was like, oh, I don't feel like making a video. I don't feel like doing that at all. And it sucked. My brain was, I felt like very consumed with work, and I was just so tired all the time. Sometimes I feel like a shark, not in a cool, beastly, predatory way. Not predatory way. But nonetheless, I don't feel like, not in that sense, but more of like, if I stop swimming, I'm gonna die. I just feel like I need to keep moving and this and that. And when I don't practice or flex that artistic muscle, I start to feel really bad about myself. And it's a vicious cycle, because I keep working and I keep working until I'm tired. But then when I'm tired, I don't feel like doing art. And then when I don't feel like doing art, I get more tired, which doesn't make me do it. And it's just a ridiculous cycle that just keeps going. But sometimes you really just have to force yourself to break that cycle and go, at least do something small. Do a doodle, do a ridiculous TikTok video. And TikTok was something that I kind of keep updated a little bit more than YouTube, because it's easier to make a smaller video. And at least I'm doing that. And this is not a plug for my TikTok. Like I said, this is more of just a creative outlet to help me at least get my smaller ideas out that I don't feel like can stretch out a full video. So I guess that's my third tip, is find smaller outlets. If you're creative and you feel like you keep on getting burnt out because you're trying to think of your next big idea to do on YouTube or something like that, or anything, just like or write, if you're a writer like I am and you're trying to think of your next full-on 30-minute, 30-page script or hour-long thing, you're gonna burn yourself out. Find the smaller things to do. Write a short story. Make a short TikTok video. If you're a painter, if you're an artist, just do a doodle. Do a splatter painting where you're just throwing paint on something just to let it all out, because maybe there's like a little clog, a little tiny creative nugget, a kidney stone even. Pop that out, everything's gonna come flowing out. You just need to take your time and do little things bit by bit. So I guess that's my next tip. Really just don't overdo it. Don't do it for anyone else. Don't stress out and be like, I need to do it for my subscribers, or I need to do this. Because I feel that all the time. And I think that there should be a sense of responsibility if you're a part of something. But at the end of the day, it's you and you. You wake up with yourself. You go to bed with yourself. It's always going to be you. And you got to prioritize yourself and your mental health, which I guess segues into my next tip, which is focus on that. Focus on your mental health, because I don't feel like I was for a little bit, which is, I guess, is like probably the deepest thing I'm saying on this channel ever. But I'm not gonna get not gonna get like real deep into it. But there was a bit where I left the one grocery store I was working at because I wasn't getting paid enough, and it's crazy that I thought that I was gonna get a pay jump from the grocery store I was working at before, but I ended up getting paid less when I came to this next one, and I was like, how do people survive out here, guys? This is insanity. So I ended up leaving. There was a bit where in my head where I said, you know what, Steven? I said, I'm going to take this time for a little bit to find a better job, if something either in my field or just something that just pays me more, and I'll find this job before I go back to another sister company down the line. So I took maybe about a month or so. I was just door dashing and using that to pay off rent and whatnot, DoorDash, and I'll just take that time to job hunt, which again I told you I hate it. I hate job hunting, so I was just door dashing and doing that. But then I started noticing that for door dashing here in Los Angeles, first off, guys, oh my god, here's half a tip. Half a tip is learn to drive and be a defensive driver, because the drivers here suck. That's what I'm saying out to everybody. They suck. Illinois, when I was driving, Chicago, downtown Chicago, there's some aggressive drivers out there. There's some drivers out there that may do some crazy stuff, but I knew them. And Chicago streets are so gridded, it's so easy to just kind of know. LA streets are just like, it's like if Willy Wonka became a city engineer and just said, I'm gonna make everything a chocolate river of just horrid streets, so we can just drive willy-nilly, drive anywhere they want, blow through red lights, stop signs. Who cares? It's madness. I hate it. Driving here is horrible. Why has no one fixed this? And I'm just like, I'm terrified when I get behind the wheel. So guys, tip, I don't know what number tip I'm on. Here's another tip. Tip and a half. Defensive driving. Learn it. Learn to stop. Learn to figure out if they're moving, you stop, because they're not going to care about you. They will hit you. Oh my god. I need to yeah. Anyway, guys, back to mental health, because clearly mine's in shambles because of these roads. Nonetheless, door dashing there's long stretches of places that you have to drive, so many restaurants. So I was just driving so much, and I felt like a lot of the money that I was making was going straight back to gas. So I figured out it wasn't worth it. And then I had to come to the realization, like, okay, I gotta go back to this other grocery store, but not the same store, but a different one. At least one, I found one that pays me more, so that was nice. But it put me in a weird headspace. It was frustrating. I felt like I was hitting, again, a stint. I hit a rut where I felt like I wasn't doing what I came out here to do. I didn't come to LA to work at the same grocery store that I was working at back at home. And obviously this is not any jabs at working at any type of retail or food market. I'm just saying that if you have a plan, you had a game plan to come move somewhere, to do something, you want to do it. So I was eager. Again, I'm that shark. I just want to keep swimming. I want to keep doing something. But I felt like I hit a wall. So that's where I'm at now. I went to work at another grocery store, and there's no shame in it. And I had to remind myself that there's no shame in it. I'm surviving, and that's what you have to do. Obviously, I mean, because what else are you gonna do, right? So that's where I'm at. But now here's what I'm gonna tell you is this, because overall my recap has been sounding kind of, ugh, and it's not been all blah. It's been some cool stuff has happened. So this is I wanted to get all that out of the way because I wanted to tell you guys some of the cool things that's happened since I've moved to LA. First and foremost, I walked by the dad from Wizard of Waverly Place. That was cool. That's one thing. That's the first celebrity I encountered. I was just walking, I saw him eating, and I don't talk to celebrities while they're eating because I feel like they're like animals. Everyone's an animal who's going to be eating, and I feel like that's your defensive, you're so vulnerable. I'm like, I'll leave it alone. But it was cool, very cool. But now for my personal accomplishments, what have I done since I moved out here that I'm very much proud of? Because that's so important. That's another tip. Point out what you're proud of. As much as you want to point out what you want to fix, point out what you're proud of. Make sure that there's an equal balance at least. Or if you want to point out more what you're proud of, and make sure it's balanced. I'm not gonna say there has to be more or less. You find your right balance of how much you need to focus on what you need to do better and what you're proud of that you're doing. But make sure you find that time to talk about what you're proud of, because that's what's gonna keep you going. One thing that was very cool was, as I told you, I was speaking with writers, producers, and whatnot, just to almost like an interview, get some notes. And one of the things I was able to do, I was able to weasel my way onto the set of a show called s.w.a.t, starring Shamar Moore. And so I don't really know what's the logistics of when it comes to, I mean, I didn't sign an NDA, but I don't know if I should say who the person I spoke with was. I don't know if that's weird. But if he's seeing this, shout out to him. And if he wants me to maybe edit it, I'll edit it and put his name in, I guess. But the producer I spoke to was very cool. He said, Steven, I messaged him, I was like, is it possible I could come on the set to watch the new guys shoot an episode? And this episode's already out now. It's the season 7 finale. So I was actually able to go on the set and watch them shoot. I got to sit with writers. I got to speak with them and figure out their process as well. And it was just an amazing experience. I sat there for the full 8-hour shoot, just watching them do their episode. And it was awesome. So that was super cool. And I met a lot of the actors there. David Lim, Anna Rich, and of course, I met Shamar Moore. That was super cool. Good to see him again after my Black History Month celebration. But it's crazy because I grew up watching Criminal Minds so much. So to actually get a chance to see him, he hugged me. I was like, this is insanity. This is insanity. But he was very cool. So I took a picture with him. And that was awesome. That was super awesome. So that was one of my major accomplishments. And then after that, I got to meet with somebody as well. I met with them on a Zoom call. And again, I don't know what's the logistics on saying their names, because again, I don't want people to be like, I'm going to message this person and try to do the same thing and this and that. I don't know if that's weird. But nonetheless, I spoke with another producer and a writer on Bob's Burgers. And I love Bob's Burgers. Bob's Burgers is one of my favorite shows. When I spoke with this writer, he let me know that it's possible I could come to a table read. And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. So the voice actors for Bob, Linda, Luis, and Gene were not present. But they were all calling in on a Zoom. But actually the writer that let me on was actually sitting in for Gene. So he was doing the voice, which was pretty funny. But who I did get to see was not only Tina, Dan Mintz was there, so that was super cool to see him in action, see the actual voice come from this man's face. But also, I ran into Lauren Bouchard, who is the creator of Bob's Burgers. I didn't speak with him because, again, I got flabbergasted. He held the door open for me, and I looked at him, I was like, I don't know if you know this, but you're Lauren Bouchard. I got nervous. I didn't know what's the protocol of speaking to people, and, this is his job. I didn't want to be all fan geeky out, so I just kind of left it alone. But nonetheless, their office was super cool. The writer on the show showed me around. He showed me the office, and it was just an amazing experience. He's a really cool dude. Like I said, down the line, I think I will. I'll say names, but maybe I just want to figure out if that's okay. I don't know, but it was just a super cool experience, and that was like at the buzzer beater of before it was in April, so right before June, and in my head, I just knew I wanted to do something that I was proud of at least before the first year is over. And it was hard because right before, and because honestly, the Bob's Burgers thing and the SWAT were literally in the exact same week. It was Friday and another Friday, the exact Friday afterwards. So it was a buzzer beater. It was like I just made it to the point where I was like, okay, if these are the only two things that I do that I'm proud of in this year, then I'm happy. And that's pretty much what it was. So that was some of the cool things I did this year. In between that point, my next tip would be go explore. Go explore LA, because I don't think I did enough of that this year. That's my New Year's resolution starting in June 1st, is to get around California and seeing what this place has to offer. Me and Alicia looked at some different cool things. We went to Santa Monica Pier for the first time. We went to this food festival type deal called Smorgasburg. Very cool. Highly recommended if you're here in the Los Angeles area. We got around a little bit, check out the mall and stuff like that, but I wanted to do a little bit more, so that's what we're gonna be doing while we're here, is especially now that she's on her summer break, school's out, and we have a little bit more time. But yeah, go explore. And you know what? That's one thing that DoorDash is good for. While it may not get you a lot of money, it's a pocket money job. You can't sustain it for full time, depending on the area that you're at. I'm not gonna speak that for every single area, but I don't think for LA you can do that full time without it starting to turn back on you with all your car payments and gas and wear and tear. But one thing that DoorDash is definitely very good for is if you're new to an area, do some door dashing. The GPS will take you to different restaurants. You learn restaurants, and you get to see, housings, different places where people live, and just explore what's out there in the area that you just moved to, and you get paid for it. So that's really cool for DoorDash. I also took the time that while I was, after I went back to the grocery store, the new grocery store, I took some time to better myself and get some knowledge, put some knowledge in my brain. My next tip would be, if you're working in any type of position that's, again, similar to writers or artists or something that's very finicky, because trying to get into any type of the arts is such a finicky job. It's not as simple as you go to school for it, then you get a job and you move on. You know what I'm saying? You're there. Not to say that any other job like that's easy, but it's just there's much more structured evolution in your career. This one's not so much. And so if you're going to be doing anything like that, adapt a skill set that will benefit you outside of that, because you want to find jobs that could benefit you. So I went to Google certificates with Coursera, and I just took a long course on project management. And so now I'm officially certified in project management. I'm a project manager now, guys. How awesome is that? So if you guys have any projects, products, proposals, hit me up. I'm clearly a professional.
This is the face of a man who could run your multi-million-dollar project. Right?
You see the vision? Okay, so hit me up. But it was cool to do because it kept my brain moving. When I was feeling, like I said, when I wasn't feeling so artistic, if that's the word, artistic, and I just wasn't in my groove, it was good to have something that I felt like I was accomplishing. It felt good to complete something that I feel like could benefit me down the line. And it was cool to do the project management because my decision to do it was kind of based around, I could, on one hand, work on a project that was something that's not even with film, just a general project, get paid more for it, something that gets my brain moving. I love puzzles. I think I'm good at putting things together and making things work. But also project management is a part of film, So I wanted to be a project manager on that so people could understand that, hey, I know how a project works. A film is a project. And so it's that's my tip. My tip is to, again, enhance your skill set, learn something new, and keep your brain pumping, whether it's art or not. Just keep your brain moving, keep moving, keep moving. Simple as that, keep going. So you're pretty much caught up with what my 1 year has been like. It's like I said, it's been an adjustment period. I'm saying that over and over again, but it's the facts. It's been a lot to figure out, but I'm glad I came out here. I don't regret it. I miss home dearly. I've been flying home about almost every 3 months to see home. Family's important. That's, I guess, my next tip. Family and friends are important. And if you can afford it, it's nice to go home, visit home when you're homesick. So it was good to go home, see my family. But it's hard. One thing that's really hard is hearing about family changes, good and bad, while you're here. I felt like I've just been hit with so many different changes and events happening back at home, and it's hard to be here. It's hard to hear about that stuff and being like, I wish I was there to either, celebrate with you, support you, console you, and you can call, you can video call, but no matter what, you want to physically be there. So that's the hard part. That's the really difficult part about being here, but it has to be done, right? If you want to pursue and specifically, what I'm doing. So nonetheless, I don't regret it. It's just, it is what it is, right? Just gotta guess it and finesse it and keep it moving. That's one of my favorite tips. Is that's all I've been doing is guessing and finessing it. It just like I don't feel like I ever know what my next step is, but you just gotta wing it and wing it to the best of your ability. And now, lastly, I want to talk about is my future. So this is my other exciting news. Now, this one I absolutely can share. So this summer I'm gonna be working 2 jobs. Shout out to my boy Julius. But yeah, I'm gonna be working 2 jobs. I'm gonna stay at the grocery store. However, I'm part-time going to be working at the Warner Brothers Hollywood tour. So when you go into Warner Brothers, you have like the Starbucks, they have like the different cafes and locations, which you'll see a lot of tour guides when they come in. So soon I will be starting working at the Friends Cafe, which is fun. It is great because I've also watched a lot of Friends. I actually really enjoy the show, and also I love Warner Brothers, because they made the best movie ever, Iron Giant. So it's cool. It's kind of crazy how things manifest. I watched so much Iron Giant growing up. I watch Iron Giant over and over now, and this is the first production company I'm going to be working for. And never downplay yourself. That's the next tip. Don't ever downplay yourself, because I refuse to, while I'm still pretty much just doing the same job, I'm working at this grocery store. I work at the deli, so I'm just serving food to people. I'll be serving food to people, to tour guests who are enjoying the Friends experience, but I'm working at a production company. I'm working in the area. I'm gonna be working where the stages, they're filming stuff. It's super exciting. It's just, I'm super excited to do it. I'm super excited to just hop on into it. It's only for the summer, but they talked about, possibility of growth, possibility of putting you in a different job. So I hope to one day work full time there, because that's such a great place to work your way up. So I'm so excited to get started with it. But that also means it probably might get even worse with uploading, and I'm sorry about, like I said, I'm working 2 jobs, I'm working back and forth, but I didn't mean for this channel to turn so vloggy. I didn't mean for it to start turning into me just explaining things about my life rather than my artistic endeavors. But like I said in the first video, you're not subscribing for the art, the movie reviews, the skits, the story times. You're subscribing for just Steven, and that's me. And I hope that you guys are invested in what I'm doing. I want to keep you guys in the loop. I want to keep you guys updated, because it's an exciting journey. And again, this is my little video journal, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. And let me know. Let me know if there's if you're not liking the vlogging content. Maybe I'll make 2 separate channels, one for specifically for vlogging. I know I said that before, but I told you guys to let me know, and you guys didn't. So If you don't want the vlogging, let me know. Go in the comments. Let me know what you want more of, less of. Or, I mean, obviously, actually, don't do that, because I feel like you guys are gonna say, I want you to upload more, and I'm not gonna promise that. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my darndest, because I do love you guys. I love making videos. I love it. I love life. That's my final tip. Love life, because with all the ups and downs, there's some good stuff in there. There really is, and I hope you guys can find that. Because sometimes it's hard. Like I said, I found myself having a hard time when away from my family and friends. I'm so glad I had Alicia here. I'm so lucky to have someone with me, because I don't know what I would be like if I was alone. But it's still hard to be away from all of your family. But it's so important just to do what makes you happy, no matter what the cost is. Prioritize yourself. And I mean, I guess that goes back into my mental health, but I just want you guys to love life, because I'm loving life right now. And I want to show you guys how I'm loving life. Maybe it'll help you guys find what you love. I don't know. But hit me up, guys. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy what's coming up soon, because I think that I have a feeling in my little gut. It's actually not really a little gut anymore. Oof. But I have a feeling that some good stuff is going to be coming that I'm going to be telling you guys very soon. Even more good stuff, other than my Warner Brothers tour cafe job. Ooh, so exciting. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for being here for my 4th year. And I hope you guys stick around for the 5th. And like I said, it's gonna be so crazy to just go hit the 5th year and see what different things have changed, what's evolved, what's altered. I don't know. That's the beauty of life. Who knows what's going on? Because who wants to watch a movie that you know the ending of every time? Let's just enjoy what it is and just figure it out together. Sound good? All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you in the next video, whenever that is. I promise I'll try to make it very soon. I'll try to make it soon, I promise. I love you guys. See you on my next video. Bye.